Hi, everyone, and welcome to the C Word, Clever Girls Collective's web series, interviewing people we find interesting across the interwebs. Today we're talking with Nelly Yusupova, who is a tech maven extraordinaire. She's the CTO of Webgrrls International. That's WEBGRRLS. She is also a noted speaker, advisor, consultant. She is Digital Woman on Twitter, so please do follow her at Digital Woman. And we are just going to jump right in. I've given you a little bit of a taste of what Nelly is about, but I'm going to let her describe for you what she does in 20 words or less.
Hi, Stefania. It's nice to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
20 words or less. I think in one word, I would describe myself a geek. Everything I do, it revolves around technology and leveraging technology and teaching people how to use technology most efficiently so they can become more successful as a result. Technology is everywhere now, no matter what you do. And so it's an important part of everybody's life, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
That's great. And okay, we're going to go beyond 20 words just a little bit here. Can you speak a little bit about how you help entrepreneurs kind of get their game on? I know you've got a whole venture that you do around that. Can you speak a little bit about that specifically?
Sure, absolutely. I recently started something called Techspeak for Entrepreneurs. It's a 2-day boot camp designed to teach non-techies how to understand developers and how to work with them to build a web or mobile application. So oftentimes, if you have an idea and you need to have it built out, you need to have tech help, and you need to understand the process of what it takes to build an application from idea to development. So the whole idea behind Techspeak is to teach the entrepreneurs the entire development process, so you know how to minimize mistakes, so you know the right questions to ask, and how to be more confident about knowing how to ask the right things and how to get stuff done without making a ton of mistakes, which are very, very costly oftentimes.
That's great, because we know that's such a hot area, and if anyone has questions about that, they can definitely find you and contact you. Want them to do that. So along the same vein, what makes your service or your brand, really, I mean, you are a brand in and of itself, what makes you clever?
Well, everything that I do revolves around empowerment through uses of technology. And clever or not, the things that I stand for is to never waste someone's time and to provide unbelievable value to people. So whatever you expect, I'm going to try to over-deliver. So my motto is under-promise and over-deliver. And that's something that I live by and work by and actually teach in my workshops as well to entrepreneurs, that you should always under-promise and over-deliver. Those unexpected happy moments.
That's right. Surprise and delight. That is very clever. We're very aligned with you there. One of our corporate values is elevate, and underneath that kind of bullet in our corporate values statement that all clever employees kind of read, internalize, breathe, live in their day-to-day work life, is that we also do the same. We want to provide the best customer service, customer care, if you will, and elevate constantly with that surprise and delight. Over-deliver concept in mind. So it is clever.
Thank you.
Yeah. So moving right along here, is this what you thought you would be doing? You described yourself as a geek. Were you a geek kid? And is this something you thought, hey, grown-up Nelly, this is what I'm going to do with my life?
Absolutely not. I actually wanted to be a doctor all of my young life. I didn't know computers. I was born in Tajikistan. Practical immigrant mentality. I knew that I was going to get a job when I graduated. So I decided to go into computers. But embarrassingly, I actually didn't know what computer science meant. I thought doing computer science meant doing and learning Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel really, really well. And in fact, I turned on the computer for the very first time in my computer science class And that's how I got started. The rest, as they say, is history.
Great. Okay. I mean, it's interesting how life leads us down these paths we never thought we would be on. But hopefully, life is long and we get to do whatever we want, in the next phase.
I discovered my love for technology.
Mm-hmm.
It was an accidental thing that got me there, because I probably would not have ended up there had I not been an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that it happened for me, and I made the best of it.
Excellent. Good attitude. Good positive attitude. So speaking of technology, what's one thing that you see out and about in your travels that you think people are doing wrong, that just kind of drives you nuts and you just go, oh, if only I could step into their, in front of their laptop with them and tell them to stop it. What is something you see?
Well, the biggest thing that I see that people are doing wrong in tech, particularly entrepreneurs and particularly not tech entrepreneurs, is really not being tech literate about starting a company that has technology as a big part of their business. It's like starting a business without knowing and understanding the business language.
Mm-hmm.
Yet entrepreneurs start companies where technology is a big part of their business, and they know nothing about the process. And so that's when they make a ton of mistakes. And so one of the first things that I recommend is just understand the processes. Understand that it's okay for you not to know how to code.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still start a business and do the tech stuff without having to be the tech person.
Right. Yeah, I know we see it out here all the time where people are like, I have an idea for a company. I need a tech co-founder. How do I find that tech co-founder? But you're saying, start by having some understanding yourself. That will go a long way. Yeah, but of course.
Well, one of the things that I say at Techspeak is you never find a co-founder. You have to earn one. And because as tech people, we are taking a risk on the business person's ability to bring business.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the first things that you need to do as an entrepreneur is to decide what can you do on your own to make your company enticing to tech people, right? Just like you do for venture capitalists, if you want to go raise money, they want to see some traction. And the same thing goes for finding a technical co-founder. Get to a point where you can make your company more attractive, validate your ideas, maybe hire an outsourcing company for an inexpensive, minimal viable product that you can build very cheaply, and then show some traction to a tech person and show what you can do without them.
Mm-hmm.
Then tell them, see what I did without you, imagine what we can do together. So that's the kind of attitude that I think entrepreneurs need to have.
That's really excellent advice. Really excellent. Everyone take that to heart. If you're looking for a tech co-founder, you need to earn it. And if you need help earning it, you can always contact Nelly. So just to wrap up, we're heading into the home stretch here, what are your favorite, just curious, what are your favorite online time sucks? Like, where do you go and then 2 hours later, you're like, I'm still on this site or doing this thing. Where do you get lost?
I would have to say Twitter. I could spend hours and hours on Twitter. I have amazing people that I follow. I have created lots of lists, and I can literally just spend hours just reading and catching up with what people are doing and some of the interesting things that are happening. That's where I catch up on my trends and what's going on and interesting articles in my industry. The other thing that I just recently discovered after Google's RSS reader went away was I completely reorganized using a tool called Feedly.
Uh-huh.
Which is also an RSS reader.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, because I started from scratch and I had to do it on purpose, I actually organized it in such an amazing way, and it's such a better tool for consuming articles.
Mm-hmm.
I just can spend hours just flipping through, because they have a mobile version, and while I'm on mobile device, I just do this.
Yep.
Really long, and just scour the headlines, and it's just addictive.
So are you, with Twitter, have you changed the way, I'm just curious, have you changed the way you consume or interact with Twitter over the years? I mean, you were one of the earliest people I know of to be on Twitter. And I found, my experience has changed a little bit in, 6+ years. How about you? So it sounds like you are primarily looking at trends, you're looking for articles, you're looking for the educational piece. Has that differed from when you first started, or maybe not?
I think that when it first started, it was very different because it was so new to people. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people still make in social media specifically is not understanding their brands. And so we all do so many different things on social media, liking, commenting, putting out content, both our own and sharing other people's content, without really understanding what our brand is and what we stand for. Now, whether you're an individual or a company, everybody's a brand. And so I think we need to realize that the brand and what we put out on a daily basis has to align with what we want to stand for. What story does all of the activity that we do on social media paint about us? And so I think over the years, I've just become more and more conscious of how my brand, the social media brand, aligns with my personal brand, and how do people perceive me as a result. So I'm much more conscious. The evolution of my Twitter experience, not just Twitter, but everywhere else that I participate, is much more conscious.
Right. Yes. We call that mental pearls at Clever Girls. I mean, we come to work wearing, all manner of things, and no one's in a suit, but you're wearing mental pearls when you are doing everything you're saying. You have to kind of have, keep in mind exactly as you're saying, that, people are watching. We don't require our employees to put, my opinions are our own, because that to us is defeating the purpose of kind of social media and what we're about. But we do just ask that everyone wear their mental pearls. Keep that in mind when you're social media-ing, as they say. So last question to you, Nelly. What is your favorite C word?
My favorite C word of all time, and I think is the most important to clever women everywhere, is confidence. Confidence is the thing that drives everything forward and propels you forward, versus fear, or lets you overcome fear and helps everything that you're doing move forward. So it's my favorite word of all time.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much, Nelly, for taking the time to speak with us today, for being one of the inaugural folks that we're talking to on this web series. We really appreciate everything that you do to move the industry forward, to move women in tech forward, and we've loved collaborating with you in the past as well. So thank you so much, Nelly.
Absolutely. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me.